Going on, everybody? Welcome to our first ever webinar. We're going to wait a couple of minutes just to kind of allow everyone to join here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Friday. If you have any questions, we're going to be doing a Q&A at the end. I'll be walking through kind of like the format of this, what we're going to do. Should be really fun time, really chill, nothing too serious. But if you have any questions, do me a favor and drop us a comment in the Q&A section down below. There should be a button that says Q&A. You can open up a new question, look at other people's questions, leave comments, and of course, you can always leave a message in the chat below. So we're gonna do our best to try and answer everyone's questions. Again, kind of just give it a couple more minutes here to allow more people to join who are running a little bit late. But thank you for showing up. Super happy to have you all here. I think we've got a really exciting little presentation for you guys. Going to be covering some of the new updates to Brevity. We're going to be covering kind of state of the industry, where things are going in terms of AI and how we can use it to empower our editing workflows, expedite creation time, and just generally create more polished content. So we're going to be covering some stuff specific to Brevity and then also some more general editing tips as well that's applicable to everybody. And then again, we'll be demoing some new features that are coming out for Brevity. We got some really cool new stuff on the roadmap, and even a new feature that is coming out next week. So super excited to share with you guys. This is our first ever webinar, so if there's any unforeseen technical challenges, I do apologize. But yeah, feel free to hang out. We're probably gonna get started in like 5 minutes here. Um, if you guys want to like grab a beer, hang out, Friday afternoon for me here, so might have a little beverage myself. Should get started here momentarily. Let's see. Well, we're trying to get set up here on YouTube Live as well. Again, first webinar, so I'm not quite sure what the issue is, but this will be recorded. So if you have any types of friends that weren't able to attend today, they'll be able to watch the recording of this. Matt, what is my beer of choice? I'm actually not. I said I was drinking a beer. I'm drinking a High Noon. Is that a beer? I don't know. Katie, love to hear that. Um, Guys, there is a chat as well. I haven't used Zoom webinar before, but for like general conversation stuff, I think you should be able to use the chat and then the Q&A, maybe just for like questions and stuff. So yeah, I should get started here any second. Yeah, hope everyone's having a great Friday. Really excited for the weekend here. It's been a busy week for us here at Brevity. Lots of new features we've been working on. I've been heads down in the code base for a while now. But we've got some really cool stuff, new styling features that we're announcing. We're launching a whole new kind of extension that goes hand in hand with Brevity. So I know that wasn't really discussed, previously, but a little bit of a gift for you guys. Chat is disabled on Zoom. Oh no. Let's see here. Chat. And these can chat with everyone. All right, maybe chat's working now. All right, let's go ahead and kick things off, you all. So for you guys who don't know me, I'm Danny, kind of like the founder of Brevity here. It's been my baby. I've been creating After Effects and Premiere extensions for the past 8 years now. That's crazy to say. But we started creating After Effects products, sold them on AE scripts, built our own platform to host them. And then in the end of 2023 is when we started getting really serious about creating Premiere products. And we saw this kind of niche to fill where all of us as professional editors are being tasked with creating more and more social style content. We want to stay in Premiere. We don't want to go to a CapCut, God forbid. But again, it's just hard to create that type of content inside of Premiere. So we're building that toolkit that just makes it super easy, super quick to create social style content, vertical video stuff inside of Premiere. Taking a lot of what CapCut has going on for it, which is, super quick social style editing, but bringing it to Premiere. Um, so yeah, let me pull up my notes here. Again, this is our first webinar, so if there's any unforeseen technical issues, I do apologize. Appreciate you all being here, and we can go ahead and kick things off. Again, grab a beverage if you'd like. Um, and we'll be doing a Q&A at the end of this. So if you have any questions that are relevant to brevity or anything that we talk about, just drop them in the chat, or sorry, in the Q&A, and we'll get to them as we can. So let's go ahead, dive right in. We'll go over kind of like the format of what's going to be going on throughout this webinar. So first of all, we're going to be talking about how AI is kind of transforming the industry, how people are utilizing it to create content quicker, some of the implications that come around with utilizing AI. Is it going to take our jobs? Stuff like that. We're going to be talking about the significance of emotional storytelling. So that's the biggest asset that we have as editors, especially as we start getting further into that age of AI doing more and more of the work for us. Our biggest asset is going to be our creativity and the ability to tell emotional stories. We're going to be talking about strategies to accelerate your content creation process, just general tips that are applicable to any type of editor. They'll just help you move faster when creating social style content. Um, and then we'll be doing a little walkthrough of Brevity, kind of just doing a quick overview of what the tool is, going through the new features that we're going to be launching live on this webinar. So definitely stick around for that. And then at the end, we're going to be doing a Q&A session. So I know a lot of you guys are already dropping some questions for us to, sorry, I don't know what that beeping noise is. So yeah, a lot of Q&A stuff at the end, and then we'll also be doing a raffle draw. So there's an opportunity to win some free months of Brevity, and we'll be raffling that off to three different attendees here today at the end. So definitely stick around for that. But let's jump in. So the big question, is AI going to replace us? Are we just going to be out of jobs and not able to work anymore? I'm not quite sure. But the big thing to kind of take away from this is right now, 65% of content creators are using AI to streamline their video creation. Before everyone freaks out, no, I don't think that AI is going to be taking our jobs anytime soon. This is not going to be replacing us, guys. This is going to be empowering us. It's giving us superpowers to save time while we're creating. And that save time does not necessarily equal a higher output of content. We're not just going to be shooting out more brain rot content because we have the ability to create content quicker. No, we should be utilizing that save time to create more polished content. So instead of, muddling through some of the technical, cumbersome workflows that the pre-AI era had for us, we can now utilize that time to spend it creating better content that's more polished, that's more emotionally charged. And so I'm really excited to see what this increase of efficiency allows us to do on the creative end. Because again, that's our biggest asset, is being able to emotionally tell stories, be creative, and connect with other humans. Your job as a video editor is to have that vision and deliver the final product. How you get from, the starting point to that final product doesn't necessarily matter as much, but what matters is the final product and your vision and how it relates to that final product. So you should be utilizing AI to achieve your vision, ideally in a more expedited way. Get to that finished polished product quicker. But that end product is an extension of you. So AI is not going to be replacing us. No, it is going to be empowering us, allowing us to create better content because we're saving time. So let's go through here and just jump into some of the AI features that we're already using. I think the term AI gets thrown around quite a bit, and people kind of bucket it into two different categories. You've got the generative AI image generation, which is, sometimes trained on stolen content, no good. And then you also have the large language models. And I think that that's where most people think of when they think of AI in the post-production space. But all of these features that are already built into Premiere have some form of AI. So, for instance, maybe you've done the text-based editing before. You're utilizing AI to work quicker, utilizing that text-based editing inside of Premiere. They've got cool things such as color matching, which allows you to color match a clip from an existing one into another. You can do cool things like scene edit detection, media intelligence, which Adobe just launched. That allows you to just, search through the footage that you have inside of your project. Really super cool, powerful features that we're already utilizing. And a lot of this stuff, we don't even think of it as being AI. We think of it as being just a tool. And that's exactly what AI is. It's just a tool. Another thing is the automatic caption translation. And this is something that Brevity really excels at. We can transcribe and translate into over 100 different languages. So I think that when we think about AI in post-production, it's a lot more than just using ChatGPT. It's more than just using, Stable Diffusion to generate images. It's utilizing these tools that actually serve a specific purpose that allow us to move quicker when creating content. So in 2030, it's expected that 85% of video content will involve AI generation or enhancement. I think we're already seeing a huge amount of our content utilizing AI in that production process. All of those tools that I just mentioned that are built inside of Premiere, those are all AI tools that we're already utilizing to just create content quicker. So the trend is not going away. I think that we need to own it, right? Utilize it, utilize AI to help us create better content because it's helping us save time creating this type of content. It's not going to take away our jobs. It's going to empower us, give us more tools to allow us to create content quicker, which means we have more time to spend polishing it, more time to connect with people on an emotional level and work on our creativity and storytelling when we're creating content. And this kind of goes into my next point, which is video editing is more than just assembling clips, right? It's more than just chronologically putting your clips onto a timeline and removing the silences. The emotion that humans bring into the edit is where our content really shines. It's a lot more than, just having a robot go through and assemble clips. We have the ability to connect with other humans on an emotional level. And that's kind of like the golden nugget. That's the really powerful thing that we have as editors. We're almost more than editors, we're artists at this point, right? Anybody can go ahead and pick up a paintbrush and paint on a canvas, but that doesn't make you an editor. That doesn't make you an artist. But now with these AI tools, it's becoming so easy for anybody to create content, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's good content. So your job as an editor is to be the artist. And here's a fun little graph, just, kind of depicting what I'm talking about here. On the y-axis, we have emotional intensity. How much storytelling, how much emotion can you put inside of your content? And on the x-axis, we have video progression. How good is your content? The more emotion, the more connection that you can put inside of your edits, that is going to allow you to stand out from the rest of the crowd and really connect with people and create engaging content that makes people want to stick around, impacts them, and just generally increase the amount of views that you get from your content. So stop thinking about yourself as a technical editor, right? Because everyone has these tools available, and the barrier to entry is becoming so low to create this type of content that you need to become an artist. You need to have that creativity, that craft that sets you apart from any Joe Schmo who, can assemble clips in a timeline. So think of yourselves as that artist, that creative storyteller, and that's how you're going to separate yourself from the rest of the crowd. So yeah, to kind of like drive home this point even more, what does this mean like social video editing? Well, AI assisted social media videos reduce content turnaround times by 35%. So if you're utilizing AI in your workflow right now, you're going to be increasing your output by 35%, increasing your efficiency by 35%. And you could spend that 35% in creating 35% more output, or you can use it to have 35% more time creating better content. And it's a scale. You can have, I want to create 20% more output and I want to have 15% more quality. And you're able to do that by utilizing tools like this. Um, all right, so let's get into some just like general kind of tips that are applicable to everybody so that we can all create content quicker. Because that's the name of this webinar, how to make social content faster. Here are some of the tips that we personally use to create our content much quicker. So the first of which is templates and presets. The main thing that we utilize in a lot of our social content right now is we start with like a template project file. And so that has all of our colors, all of our assets, all of our fonts, all kind of ready to go in different sequences inside of our project file. And we set this all up, kind of as like the chief editors, the chief brand designers, so that we can hand it off to our junior designers, junior editors, and they're able to maintain that quality and consistency that we set up, but still, scale our content production. So utilizing templates and presets helps us move faster, kind of like set the standard once, and then just scale that output indefinitely. Another thing that we do quite a bit is utilize keyboard shortcuts. And if you're just starting to get into editing, this is probably the first thing that you should be picking up is learning how to leave your hands on the keyboard and utilize hotkeys to move quicker, whether that's in Premiere, After Effects, Final Cut, whatever your choice is, utilizing keyboard shortcuts you're going to see a massive increase in your efficiency. So there's plenty of YouTube videos out there that will cover all the different Premiere types of shortcuts, but we've got some different blog posts out there as well where you can learn some yourself, but definitely learn your keyboard shortcuts. Um, the Utilizing the media encoder queue is something that we do. It seems kind of like simple, but this allows you to work asynchronously versus doing Control M in Premiere will allow you to export your sequence just from Premiere. But you're no longer able to continue editing. You have to wait till your render finishes before you can start editing again. And that's working synchronously. We want to work async. We want to be able to have something rendering in the background while we're working on our next edit. So those three tips are something that we utilize here quite a bit at Brevity, and it saves us a bunch of time when we're creating content. Yeah, definitely work async. Don't want to work synchronously. So that brings us to Brevity, the moment we've all been waiting for. We're going to be doing a quick little demo, kind of like going through the tool, how to utilize it, some best practices, and then we'll get into some of like the bigger, more feature announcements here. I'm going to do a quick preview of our Q&A and chat here, making sure I'm not missing anybody. Questions. Cool. Sounds good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my Premiere Pro. Great. All right, guys, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Brevity at this point. You probably wouldn't be on this webinar if you're not, but for those who are a little unfamiliar, I'm going to do a brief little overview of the tool and how to use it. So Brevity is an extension for Premiere. It just docks like any other panel inside of Premiere, and it excels at creating animated captions. I think that's kind of like been our bread and butter from day one is how can we solve that pain point of creating animated captions inside of Premiere. And this is something that I think everyone in our industry is kind of coming across right now, right? Even if you're a professional editor, you're spending a lot more time working on social content. And generating that social content inside of Premiere is just, it's hard. It's not what Premiere is built for. It's not a CapCut. And I think now that like the content creation for social is just exponentially increasing, all of us are starting to face this challenge more and more. And so the big pain point is, hey, it's just impossible to create animated captions inside of Premiere. How can we do that efficiently? So that's what Brevity excels at. It allows you to generate animated captions in plenty of different styles for any transcript and for any language, right? We support over 100 different languages. And I'll just do a quick little preview here to show you guys like what the end product looks like.
That stuff down. Wow. So it's a lot of extra power being used. So if you can get the
So this style that we have here, super dynamic, super animated. But let's jump in here. As you can see, when you create captions for your sequence, you have them all loaded up inside of this panel here. You're able to overview every single thing that's said within your sequence. And usually we like to jump into the most flashy thing first, which is the styling. So at the top, you've got all these different presets that you're able to utilize. If you are on a team group, you're able to generate these different preset groups that you can share amongst your team members. So you can create a consistent style and kind of like push that out to your editors so that everyone's working on the same style. But we've got plenty of different save presets inside of here. We've got trending presets, default presets, all different types of presets that are specific to animated captions. And to utilize one of these, all you need to do is just click on it. It's going to load up inside of Premiere here. And now we can go ahead and start styling this as much as we want. So do things such as, changing the position, adding padding, scaling, rotation, block animations, all different types of styling parameters inside of here. Tons of different animation options, intro, outro, constant wiggle, like basically any type of caption style you see on the internet, you're able to replicate inside of Brevity. There are a couple of different like edge cases, which we're still working on to implement inside of the product, but it's pretty comprehensive at this point. One of the first new features that I want to showcase to you guys is our new background animations. So previously you weren't able to animate the word background animations. You could kind of just set like a standard styling, but you couldn't have animations on the background as the words being said. So with this update, which is going to be going out next week, you'll now have that opportunity. So inside of word background, you can now go and set a bunch of different animation styles. So we can go ahead and like set this to be pop. And now every time that the word is said, the background animation, the background is going to have an animation on it. It's going to have like a pop animation. If you guys have ever worked with the script before, that's a really popular animation style that they do. Like as the word's being said, the background for that word animates on. And now you can do that inside of Brevity. So give us a quick preview here.
power being used. So if you can get that power use efficiency better, then you're
So really nice, kind of subtle, just one more animation style that you can add into your repertoire. If you're looking to create any type of, dynamic, super engaging type of content, then utilizing these types of animations is just so trendy these days. Like everyone on social is using this stuff. It's hard to do it inside of Premiere, and that's why you want to use Brevity because you've got all of this different animation options. You can save them as presets. Super simple, super easy to use. So word background animations is a big new feature that we're excited to roll out. Took us a little bit to get there, but it's here. Should be coming out next week. One of the other new styling features that we want to talk about was the skew. So now a lot of people have been asking for, hey, I need to do italics inside of my content. Like I want the active word to be italicized. So now we have this skew option, which allows you to go ahead and like set a skew for your words. So this can be used to create italics. And, as you can see, as I'm scaling this up, you can see that we're getting some type of skew here. So really quick, easy way to create some type of italics or, skew inside of your animations. And of course, this can all be saved as a preset to be utilized later. Um, Now below that, we also have the highlight option. And inside of here, this is going to be the style that's inherited by the highlighted words. So again, we still have that word background animation as well that's built into highlight. So we can set a specific background animation for highlighted words. And we can also set skew inside of here as well. Of course, plenty of other animation options as well. You can always adjust the speed and the intensity from here. But yeah, that's a pretty comprehensive view of the different presets and the styling options inside of Brevity. The first tool that I kind of want to briefly cover is the highlight tool. A lot of you guys probably are aware of this, but if you're not, this is just a really easy way to go ahead and add some like extra emphasis on specific words. And all you need to do is just click on words that you want to be highlighted. So you can go through and like find some different words that are keyword worthy, manually quick click them, and automatically it will inherit a new style that we set inside of this style tab here. Um, of course, we also have some nice AI features that are built in. You know, a lot of this topic conversation has been about AI so far. So we're happy to like introduce some AI features that are actually useful. I think a lot of like AI out there is kind of gimmicky almost. But we're trying to build like AI features that it's it's not AI first, right? It's a problem and it's a feature that we're creating that happens to use AI. So the suggest highlights is one of them. This will utilize AI to go through and like identify a bunch of keywords inside of your content, inside of your transcript that could be, you know, have some type of significance. And so it's gone through and highlighted a bunch of different words. We didn't have to manually go through and do this. Just one more feature that allows you to save time while you're editing. And again, that's kind of like the whole goal of Brevity here. It's how can we save you guys time? How can we save time so that you have the opportunity to create more polished content or create a higher quantity of content? Um, Now, I'm going to get into the media tool now. And so this is kind of like the big unveiling here for this webinar. So previously in the media tool, you were able to highlight different sections inside of your transcript. You could browse a few different stock media providers, import them into your project, but it wasn't super comprehensive and super robust. And so that's why we've taken the media tool inside of Brevity and we've broken it out into its own tool. So I'm going to go ahead and open up our new Brevity Media Tool. And so what this does is it allows you to browse a bunch of different stock media providers. We've increased the amount of providers that we have inside of here by quite a bit. And we'll just go through like some of the different categories that we can start searching from and importing straight into our sequence. So we've got videos from Pexels and Pixabay. We've got GIFs. We got GIF stickers. We have images from Pexels, Unsplash, Pixabay, Noun Project, all different types of providers in here that you can utilize inside of your content right now. Um, what's new also is we've included a bunch of more emoji styles. So previously we only had the Google emojis inside of here. Now you have the opportunity to use Apple emojis, if you go ahead and like delete the search query, it'll show you the whole emoji catalog. And we also have Twitter emojis, we have Facebook emojis, and we even have Google animated emojis, which are super fun. You know, these are all like little animated GIFs that are the emojis that are typically found in an emoji library. And in addition to emojis, we also have audio here. So we integrated with Openverse and we're able to pull in a bunch of different sound effects from this open source media library. So if you're in a pinch and you're looking for a quick sound effect, you can just search from this panel, select it, click on continue, import it into your sequence, and you're able to do this in just a couple of clicks. It's going to save the file in a folder right next to your project file, so everything's kind of um, in sync and like hosted in the same place. And it inserts it into your sequence at the current time of your playhead. So let's do just like a quick one here. Let's go ahead and find a nice image. Sure, we'll do boom. Go ahead, select an image here. We can select the format. So maybe we don't need this huge, large file size. Maybe we can just get away with like a original. Let's do large here. We'll click on continue. And for the position, let's go ahead and set this to be screen fit. We'll do full screen here. And now we have these animation options. So what this tool provides you is it's not only a like gateway to a bunch of different free stock media providers. Katie, you have a great question here, which I'll get to. What are the usage terms of the stock media? So all of these different providers, for the most part, are completely, you have the full license to distribute it and utilize it as you want. But if you need to double check, we have the license agreement right here. So again, the majority of the content you're able to use freely with all of the rights associated. Some of like the GIFs, for example, might be have some copyright things that you need to look into, but we provide you the link so you're able to go view and check out any of the like accreditation or licenses that you need to provide when you're utilizing that content. So Right, there's kind of two big features here. You've got the ability to browse all of these different stock media providers in this one panel. You can import them super quickly into your sequence, but now you're also able to animate them super quickly. And so something that you used to have to open up After Effects to animate is now something you can just do straight inside of Premiere. So let's go ahead and we'll add an animation to this. Maybe we want a scale in intro. For the outro, let's go ahead and do like a fade down. We can set our intensity, our speed. We can also select like what type of curve we want to use for our easing here. And for constant, I'm just going to leave this at none. So we'll go ahead and click on Insert Media. It's gone ahead, it's downloaded that file, it's imported it into our sequence at our current time of our playhead here. And if I give this a quick preview,
So if you can get that power use efficiency better, then
you can see that it's already animated. So all this is done in just a couple of clicks. If you've ever used the keyframing interface inside of Premiere, you know it's bad. It's not that good. It takes forever to kind of like go in there and drag your easing handles around. So this like circumvents all of that. This allows you to just apply animation super quickly in just a couple of clicks. So Brevity Media is going to be included with your Brevity subscription. So this isn't an add-on. This isn't any additional expense. We're just dropping this to you guys next week, and you'll have full access to it as soon as you upgrade or update to the latest version. So what this becomes really powerful with is when you're working with multiple like different image assets. And you can select like any layer inside of your Premiere sequence and add animation to it. It doesn't have to be something that's imported by Brevity. It could be any footage file, any image file, adjustment layers, any type of clip inside of your sequence can now be animated in just a couple of clicks. So let's go ahead and like take a look at this emoji right here. So this is another one that we imported through our Brevity Media. Right now the position is set to top, but let's go ahead and set this to be above captions. We'll go ahead and maybe do a from captions intro animation. We'll have this little overshoot here, maybe increase the intensity a little bit. For the outro, we'll go ahead and do a scale out maybe. And let's do a little overshoot there as well. And for constant, let's do something fun. Let's go ahead and do a flip inside of here. So now we'll go ahead and click on Update Media. It's gone ahead and it's repositioned it to be right above our captions. It's added an intro animation, it's added a constant animation and an outro animation.
you're not saving the planet, but you're definitely reducing the harm, right?
So we got a nice little flip there. I think that we need to increase our speed a little bit. So let's increase our speed here. Click on Update Media. There we go. Now we got a couple more flips here.
You're not saving the planet, but you're definitely reducing the harm.
So super fun, super engaging, right? This just like draws you in a little bit more. And it's just a trend on social. Like this is where our editing tasks and our social content is kind of trending towards. This is what the internet's demanding is these types of, little bit of extra attention grabbing elements that help keep your audience engaged. And, for better or for worse, this is just kind of where things are going, right? But Brevity Media allows you to do all of these things, all these animations, all of these emojis in a matter of seconds versus having to mess around with sourcing the image from a website, moving the file, importing it, resizing it, timing it correctly, going through and manually keyframing all of those things. Like that takes forever. And that's a cumbersome process that gets you out of your flow state. You need to stay in your flow state, staying creative, and move quickly so that you're just expressing your creativity and not getting bogged down with all of like the technical nuances of editing in Premiere and doing animations in Premiere. So yeah, no more After Effects. Don't open up Dynamic Link anymore. Just go ahead and utilize this Brevity Media tool. Again, it's included with the Brevity subscription now. And you can just move super quickly and import stuff, animate it, all from this one interface. So this allows you to not only just like, make changes to one element. We can go ahead and select multiple elements here. And as I select them, you can see that, oh, we have multiple values for our intro. We have multiple values for our outro, for constant. And it looks like all of these items that I selected are positioned above captions already. So maybe we want to standardize this a little bit. Let's go ahead and make these all from captions. Let's go ahead and make them all overshoot a little bit, bring down the intensity maybe a little bit. And for constant, let's set these all to be oscillate. Go ahead and click on Update Media. It's going to go through and update all of the keyframes for all of those different selected items. just in one click here.
But instead of everything being air cooled, we stick them in. We want to stick things into dunk tanks where you basically have like.
So again, can be used on any different type of clip that's inside of your sequence. Works great for emojis, right? Everyone wants that attention grabbing emoji that's a little animated. But it works for full images, for full videos too. Maybe you just want no intro animation, no outro, and you just want it to like grow a little bit over the course of the duration of the clip. Just click on Update Media. Now we've got no intro, we've got no outro,
So if you can get
just a
that power
nice
use
little growing
efficiency
animation
better.
here. And I had it set to this ease here, and that's why it has like a little bit of an ease as
So
it
if you can
kind
get
of
that power
comes
use
on.
efficiency.
But we can go ahead and make this linear, click on update. It's gone ahead and made that update for
So
us.
if you can get that power use.
We can increase the intensity, all this stuff, super, super easy to do. So what about if you're working with an emoji and you say, you know, I don't really want it positioned right here. I've got a custom position in mind that I want to move this to. So let's go ahead and open up effect controls. Let's go to motion. Let's delete some of these keyframes here. And then let's just move this to wherever we want it to be. So maybe we want it to be like right here. We'll go ahead, go back to Brevity Media Browser, and we're going to set position to be existing. And we'll have the same animation options here, same options that we had before. Click on Update Media. And now it's gone ahead and it's repositioned our nice little emoji here to be in that new spot. And so it's still animating from the captions. It's still got that oscillation, but now it's in our new desired position. I think that we might have to get rid of our position here. Click on Update Media. There we go. So yeah, we're super excited to get this into your all's hands. I think it's gonna be a really great time-saving improvement. Brevity is the whole goal here is to just expedite social style content creation and bring a lot of the like social editing tools that are in a CapCut that no one wants to use. No one wants to go to CapCut, but they want to be able to use those features that are designed for creating social content. They want to be able to use that inside of Premiere. And so that's what we're trying to do here, bring you guys that toolkit, that functionality that just makes it so much easier to move fast when you're creating social style content. All right, that was a lot. Need a drink. Let me check a chat real quick. Smooth, they get incredible, great work. Thank you guys. Appreciate all the great comments. You guys are very generous. Cool. So I think this allows us to move on to our next portion of the webinar here. If you guys have any questions, okay, Josh, can you import your own images into the media library? Great question. So it's something that we're working on right now, but the way to work with your own images, where it's not inside of this media browser, is you would basically just go to your project and import it into your project, and then just drop it into your sequence. And then once it's in your sequence, you're able to just start animating it. So let me, I think I actually have one here. Um, yeah. So here's a really flattering picture of me. So this is just like my own local media that I just, had happened to have in my project already. I brought it into my sequence, selected it. It still gives us this little preview here. And now let's just say I want this to be full screen, add some animation to it, click on update. There we go.
Right. And that's why we really.
And if you want to adjust the duration of anything, all you need to do is just go ahead and slide down the duration slider, click on update, and that will update all the animations as well. Additionally, when you have items selected inside of your sequence, they will show up inside of the captioning tool here. So you can see like what duration this is lasting for, like what's being said throughout this duration of this clip. And we can go ahead and like just adjust this a little bit if we need to. Oh, sorry guys, it hasn't launched yet. We still got some work to do here. But for the items imported by Brevity, it should work just fine. Yeah. Okay. There's actually one more thing that I wanted to touch on real quick, which is going to be the kind of refreshed suggest media AI feature. So previously, you were able to get AI suggested videos and emojis But now we're able to get AI suggested video, GIFs, images, and emojis. And so what this feature does is it will take your transcript and it will go through and try to identify a bunch of different segments inside of your transcript that could be that could have some type of associated media to it. So a great use case here are the emojis. Let's go ahead and just delete all of these emojis real quick. We'll go to emojis here. Let's say that we want to do Apple emojis this time. Position, we want these to be above captions. We can provide some additional context here for the AI. So let's try to say like make them extra funny. I don't know. Yeah, maybe if you're like in a specific industry and you want like specific style content, you're able to just like kind of direct the AI a little bit more by providing this additional context. And then we're able to set some animations here as well from the get-go. So maybe we want the from captions, we want a little overshoot here. We'll bring them a speed a little bit. Outro, we'll do maybe just a simple scale out. Constant, we'll do a nice little oscillate. And we'll click on generate. And so this is now sending the transcript to AI and it's going to ask it to like, hey, identify a bunch of different sections inside of this transcript that could be represented by an emoji. So we're trying to find like certain segments that are, can be like kind of summed up and like associated to an emoji. And again, this is just a really popular trend right now in social is to have these accompanying emojis going on with your dialogue, with your transcript. But imagine doing this manually, right? You'd have to go through, find all those emojis, identify the sections, bring all the clips in. Like it's just a ridiculous process. So this is a great example of utilizing AI as a feature, like as an actual tool, not saying that it's AI first. Like this is a feature first and it happens to be powered by AI. So anyways, as you can see, we've got 14 different recommended emojis here. So he's talking about immersion cooling. We got a nice like wave emoji. We want to stick things into dunk tanks. We've got like a bathtub emoji. Basically, we have all this equipment running in specialized fluid. We've got like a test tube. So all of these like relevant emojis to what's being said inside the transcript. And we can go ahead and just click on import pending here. And this is going to go through and import all of these emojis straight into our sequence. They're all that Apple style emoji, which we set. We could even do animated emojis in here if we want. But this is just a process that saves you all that time of getting like getting recommended emojis inside of your sequence. So we'll do like a quick playback here.
So air cooling, it's not super efficient. Just in general, you're using just massive air conditioners that take a ton of power. I think
So animated, set at the right position, at the right timing. They all show up inside of our transcript here. So we can go ahead and like, maybe we want this to be a little bit shorter. Just go ahead and update it real quick. Super easy to use, right? So yeah, big new features, big new tool. Brevity Media is here. It's going to be empowering you to create content quicker. You'll have all of those animation options that everyone likes to see in their social media feed. Some type of engaging stuff that will keep viewers engaged. And this new AI recommended assets, AI recommended media, I think is super powerful, especially when it comes to emojis. It does pretty good with videos, GIFs, and images as well. But the emojis are where it really shines. And I think it's super powerful. If you're creating, vertical video, social style content, people want emojis in their content now, and this is a great workflow for that. So great. Let's go ahead and move on to our next portion of the webinar here. I think that we've kind of been answering Q&A along the way here. Let's go ahead and share. Where are you? Here you are. But yeah, more items for the roadmap, right? Sorry, first webinar, guys. Cut me some slack. Um, cool. So we got some, brand new features coming out here. You saw the word backgrounds that are animated. You saw the skew. You saw the entire new Brevity Media Tool, the refreshed AI recommended content. So what's next, right? Where are we going with this tool? How can we continue that mission of empowering editors to create social style content quicker? Um, well, I think it starts next with including some new updates to our captioning. That's kind of the bread and butter, which everyone loves about Brevity, but there's still some missing features that I really want to get into the product. One of which is the ability to apply multiple different styles throughout your transcript. So right now you kind of just like set a global style and that's just applied to um, all the different words inside of your transcript throughout your clip. Now we're going to start implementing the ability to set multiple styles inside of your same transcript. So imagine having the ability to just set, I want all of speaker one to have this preset style, and I want all of speaker two to have this preset style. Make it super quick, super easy to use to get like even more variation in the styling that you have that you're able to include on your captions. Right now, we have the highlighted words, which I think really helps break up the styling and allows you to do um, some super custom like styling. Let me just check the chat real quick too. Um, cool. Everything's good. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the Q&A. I'm doing my best to keep up the chat here. So that's going to be a big new feature that we're working on. How can we include multiple different styles instead of the transcript? We're really pushing the limits a little bit of After Effects right now. Just trying to make sure that it doesn't come crashing down. We're working pretty hand in hand with the Adobe engineering team right now to just kind of forecast and architect the best way to move forward with some of the planned features that we have. So multiple styles inside of your captions is going to be huge. I know people have been asking for it. We're working on it. We hear you. It's on the roadmap. Matt, you got a question. Is it possible to point brevity to specific stock library, i.e. Getty storyblocks for suggested Matt, that's a great question. Matt asks, is it possible to point brevity to a specific stock library, i.e. Getty story blocks for suggesting importing? Um, we're kind of limited to the APIs that some of these stock media providers allow access to. And so we are talking to Storyblocks, we're talking to Envato to try and implement more of your favored stock media providers into the tool. So it's coming, we're working on it, but right this second, it's pretty much all of those providers that I just showcased. Um, Katie, how would you suggest having two captions on screen at once? For instance, when speaker two jumps in over speaker one, how would you suggest having two captions on speaker two jumps? Um, can you rephrase that, Katie? I'm having a hard time kind of understanding what you're saying here. Sorry about that. Probably my bad. Um, Real quick, while you rephrase that. So we've got captions, multiple styling coming up. The next is going to be AutoCut. So AutoCut was actually like the first feature that we built into Brevity, and it really started before the captions. And so this tool, the AutoCut feature has been around for a little bit now, and it hasn't had an opportunity to be refreshed. And there's a lot of powerful things that I think that we can do with AutoCut. So right now, you pretty much just set your in and out points for your hour-long podcast. And also, real quick, like AutoCut works by taking long form content like podcasts or radio shows, and it will do clip extraction. So it will find like highly relevant, short, bite-sized pieces of information or dialogue um, within that hour-long clip and pull it out and put it into its own sequence. So really easy way to like get social clips from your podcast, for example. But right now, you pretty much just like set your in and out points. It goes through, pulls out as many clips as it can, and it's kind of at the will of the AI for how long the clips are, how many clips you're pulling out. But in this updated version, which is on the roadmap, we're looking to provide a lot more control. So you'll be able to set your desired duration, you'll be able to set the desired amount of clips that you can get, and it's also going to do some steps beyond just doing the initial uh, clip extraction. You'll be able to say like, hey, I want you to like cut out the fluff from this edit. We want to like not really include stuff that is not relevant to the core bit of information we're trying to convey. So just kind of allow AI to have um, a little bit more opportunity to craft your initial rough draft of your content. And again, this goes back to like not having AI take your job, right? AI should be empowering you, allowing you to create content quicker so that you can spend the time polishing it, making it beautiful, and making it a compelling story. Um, Katie, I got you. Speaker one is talking, their captions are on screen, but then speaker two starts talking over them. I want two sets of captions on screen at the same time during those moments. Can you engage with some too? So right now, Katie, we're not able to do that. Pretty much the transcript that we get is in chronological order. So if two people are talking at the same time, it's going to kind of like cut between those two different speakers. Now, what you can do is kind of break out those two different speakers into their own lines. So if speaker one says something and speaker two says something over them, it'll probably have both of those words combined into one paragraph, and you can break those out, and maybe you just want to like highlight speaker two's words, for example, to like add extra emphasis, showcase that it's a different speaker talking. But I hear what you're saying. That we're working on that type of functionality. It's something that kind of comes down to our transcription model, and I think that's something that we can do. But I'll keep you posted. I'll follow up with you afterwards. Uh, Okay, I got a couple more questions here. So let's go ahead and jump into some Q&A. AutoCut's getting refreshed. We got more caption styling options coming. Brevity Media is here to stay. I think it's going to be a welcome addition. We'll do testimonials in a second. I kind of want to get to some Q&A first. Um, so Matt, I got your question. Katie, Josh, does our font selection come from our Adobe font library or from a Brevity font library? So Josh, the fonts that you can utilize inside of Brevity are all pulled from your local machine. So by default, Adobe fonts are not installed locally on your machine, but Creative Cloud makes it super easy to install them onto your local machine, which then allows you to get access to them in Brevity. Johnny, when they speak over each other, can you engage with Zoom participants too? Okay. Cool, guys. If I haven't answered your question, please let me know. Maybe just send it again. Doing my best to keep up with everybody here. Here's another one. One of the difficulties I had is control of the text. If language is from left to right or from right to left, the words are flipped and I couldn't fix it, as well as numbers are in the wrong order. Is it possible to have more control of editing the text? Yes, this has been a big feature request from some of our right to left language users. So we built this tool with kind of English in mind. That's the only language I speak, unfortunately. So to answer your question, yes, that is something that we're working on. Way better RTL support. It's something that's just going to take a little bit more UI work to fully accomplish. The tool should output the correct RTL format inside of Premiere, but actually editing the text and working with it in the panel, I know is a little cumbersome right now. I hear you. We've had other people suggest the same thing, so we're working on that one. Figure exporting process. Cool. So I think it'd be cool now to do a little bit of a testimonial, just to like kind of have like some users come on and share their story or like share their experience using Brevity. Let me see how we can do that well here. Um, so I have a list of some people who mentioned they would be interested in coming on. Katie, I know that you mentioned being interested in coming on. Ricardo, Gabe, and Garrett. If any of you guys want to come on and like just talk for a minute or two, share your experience using Brevity. If you have any feature requests, maybe you could like share them as well. Just let me know in the chat, and I will go ahead and update you to be, I think, a panelist so that you can come on and share some of your information. But while we're getting that sorted out, yeah. So again, anyone who wants to come on and share their experience, cool. Garrett, let me go ahead and update you. Let's see, how do we do this? Participants. Right, promote to panelist. Okay. More. Ask to start video. Guys, I apologize for slowly making my through this interface. First webinar. We're gonna get better, I promise.
Can you
Um,
can you hear me, Danny?
yes. How's it going, Garrett?
Perfect. It's good. Hey, everybody. Not sure who's all here. I'll keep it short and brief. We worked with Danny about a year ago. Started using his platform. We do a lot of social content. And we're putting out 20, 30, 40 videos a week through our agency. And so just the fact of being able to eliminate certain processes, eliminate certain redundancies, and saves us thousands of dollars a year. Again, it's been a positive. Premiere Pro has been great. We're starting to use a little bit more of DaVinci Resolve as well, so maybe that's a future add-on. But no, it's been great. I'll keep it short and sweet. Brevity's been awesome. Very accurate, very quick. Lots of fun features, GIFs, emojis, all that good stuff that can be included. And again, it's just super accurate, super quick. And yeah, 10 out of 10.
Love that, man. Any feature requests? Do you have any like this is what I need to have or something on your radar?
Nothing for us, not right now. I mean, when we use it or we're using it for social content, we're cutting 10, 20 little 15, 20-second cuts, or, taking something down from a podcast or a longer interview and being able to just take that and pull it over, throw it into Brevity, and it spits it out what we need. So very, very thankful for Danny and his team.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate your support. Thanks for coming on here and sharing a little bit about yourself. Yeah, we're just going to continue building out the product. So, yeah, Garrett, thank you again for coming on here. Katie, if I still got you here, I'd love to have you come on. Let's see how we can do this.
There it is. Got it. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. There we go. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you.
So I'm an editor for a PBS station up in Rochester, New York, and I am using Brevity mostly for captions. We recently launched our daily radio talk show on YouTube Live, and from that I've been cutting, social content for it. Again, I'm mostly utilizing Brevity for captions, but AutoCut has also been a huge feature that we've been using, and I'm really excited to hear about the updates to AutoCut, just to sort of rein it in, because AutoCut, I love that it gives you sort of a description of what the clip is as the sequence name. But those can range anywhere from like a minute to like 6 minutes long, because it is an hour-long conversation. So there is a lot to choose from. But I'm excited to hear about those added features. Yeah, and it's like pretty impressive to see what AutoCut chooses. And I can sort of see again, based on the titles that it sets as the sequence names, what it's sort of crawling for in the conversation, because they're pretty in-depth, hard-hitting conversations. So I can see like conflict is a big thing. Like anytime someone says conflict, it's going to pick that, and those sort of keywords. So far that's been great. I think like aside, I haven't used the any of the gifts or the media addition to that, but
Sure.
I'm hoping to like dip my foot into that, see if it works for our brand, that sort of thing. And then the only request I have or is in the caption editor, the paragraph tool. I understand it's like there's some major stuff going on with like the Mogerts and everything behind the scenes, but it's a little slow and clunky. Like sometimes I need to tamper my speed, because I can just like fly through it and take out all the periods and take out all the commas. But I need to probably give it more time to catch up, because sometimes it just like will undo everything I just did.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. We implemented this new caching system, which was supposed to make things quicker. But yes, I know what you're talking about. That is going to be a bug fix coming out in the next version. Regarding the AutoCut stuff, though, I'm super excited to share some more information with you. We're just starting to like break ground on that new refresh, and so talking with folks like you to help understand like what are your desired features and outcomes you're looking for would be super helpful. So I'll follow up with you, but appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience. Yeah, thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Totally. So we're gonna do one more here, guys. We're going to invite one more guest up. Ricardo, if you're still here. Hold on. Sorry about that. We're gonna do one more here. Right afterwards, we're going to be doing the raffle. So definitely stick around and get a chance to win some free months of Brevity here. So Ricardo, if you're still on here, I'm going to go ahead and invite you to come on. Just do it real quick, share a little bit about yourself and your experience using Brevity. Um, we'll go ahead and get you on here if you're still on. Katie. Hey.
So, so I think what I'm really impressed with is the accuracy of the captioning as far as what the person's saying. A lot of my clients are industrial and they use a lot of big engineering technical terms. And what I find is that whenever I've used Adobe Premiere for its captioning, I noticed that it
Ooh, I think we dropped, I think audio dropped out a little bit there. Sorry.
take off my AirPods there. Can you hear me now? Uh-oh.
Yeah, you should be good.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, no, what I was saying was that I deal with a lot of technical industrial clients. And so the terminology that they use sometimes is very complicated. And what I've noticed is that with using Adobe Premiere, it doesn't do a good job of really translating or captioning those words correctly. And so where I have been impressed with Brevity is that it does a good job of really knowing that, being able to identify that technical term and being able to caption it correctly. With like industrial terms or even with acronyms, a lot of these industrial guys like to use acronyms. I noticed that Adobe Premiere doesn't really do a good job with acronyms, but Brevity seems to really do a good job getting it at the first crack, which is great because I don't have to go back and fix every single time the speaker is using an acronym that's complicated or terminology that's complicated. So yeah, that's my quick little feedback.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, I think that our transcription model, I don't know why Premiere hasn't updated theirs in a little bit. Seems like it hasn't improved over the past few years. But yeah, we try to like actively stay on top of the most accurate transcription model that's available. So we're constantly, testing out new ones, making sure that we're utilizing the state-of-the-art model. I think one thing I want to touch on real quick is a feature I actually missed to announce in our roadmap, and that's the ability to add in those acronyms or like industry jargon before you run the transcription. So if you have like specific words or specific names or brand names, acronyms, whatever it is, you can supply that to the transcription model before it runs. And so anytime it kind of comes across a word that's representative of one of the ones that you've inputted, it will utilize the correct spelling or the correct acronym that you supplied. So that might be helpful for other folks who are in your position where you're doing a lot of like industry specific or working with a brand name that might be hard to pronounce, stuff like that.
Awesome. No, that's great.
Cool. All right, awesome. Thanks for coming on, Ricardo.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and do the raffle here. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do the raffle here. So we're gonna run it 3 times, and we're gonna be giving away 3 months worth of Brevity here. So we've got 12 people on. You got a pretty good chance of winning. So stick around, and we'll see what happens here. All right, we're gonna be using a tool here in Zoom to run this called Stream Alive. Let's see if this actually works. We've got a backup plan if not. All right, run interactions ad hoc. We want to do, I don't know what's going on, man. All right, you know what? Backup plan it is. We're going to do the backup plan. All right, so do share, Google Chrome. One moment, folks. One moment. All right. All right, we're gonna try out this number picker. So how many people do we have in our chat? I think that we've got 11 people. So we're gonna do 11 numbers, 1 to 11, right? That makes sense, right? 2, 3. Okay. And we'll go ahead and give it a spin. And so I just see a list here of people in order, and that's how we're gonna do this. All right, number 4. CAN, you are a winner. So definitely follow up with us. We'll get you the free 3 months. Just send me an email, Danny@brevity.pro. Say you're the winner. We'll got you. We'll hook you up with the first those 3 months on us. So congratulations. Let's go. All right, we'll do it again. Remove choice, I think. Yeah. Oh, 3. Brent, you are a winner, Brent. Congratulations. Send me an email. Say you're the winner. I'm Brent. I'm the winner. Give me my months, man. Cool. All right, we're gonna remove you and do one more here. A lot of people winning today. Number 1, Amanda. Amanda Reed, you are a winner, believe it or not. I know, I wish that you guys can kind of see like in order. I promise that I'm not just choosing people randomly. This thing is. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you guys for sticking around. This has been a pretty successful first webinar, I'd say. I think they were a little bit over time here, but yeah, who cares? 10 minutes. So thank you again for everyone showing up here. We're gonna do like a little closing remarks and then we'll let you guys get on with your day. Enjoy your Friday, get out of the office, that type of stuff. Go ahead and stop sharing. Maybe we'll share our go back to here. Okay, closing remarks. So, yeah, cool new things happening over here at Brevity. Guys, we are heads down. We're working on new updates. We want your feedback. If you have bugs or issues or new features, ideally, hopefully you don't have any bugs, let us know. Send me an email, Danny@brevity.pro. You know how to find me. We're on Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is. Hit us up. But again, really appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day to join us. Help us kind of announce some of the new features and the roadmap of Brevity, where we're going, what's coming here in the next week. Guys, we're dropping the Brevity Media Browser next week. Super excited to get your all's input. Hopefully it's useful. I think you can be able to use it on, any type of content. So not even like stock content that you find through the app. You can just use it on any footage that you bring into Premiere. Just give it that little extra pop. So, yeah, the Brevity Media Browser's here. We've got new updates coming to AutoCut. We've got new updates coming to the captions. Improved accuracy too. I kind of forgot to mention this. We found a couple more, some new state-of-the-art transcription models are coming out. We're integrating with them, so you'll have even higher accuracy when you're transcribing, which will be great. I know that there's still one bug I know it's kind of out there. Sometimes you guys might see that there are these, like certain characters do not inherit the font that you set inside of Brevity. And so you'll get like a random lowercase c that looks all weird. That's something that we're working on. It's really a bug in After Effects. The After Effects team's completely aware of this. We're working with them to fix that. They, recognize that this animated captioning feature is missing in Premiere. So they are directing a lot of their inquiries about animated captions to us. So they're on our side. We're kind of teamed up there to make this thing really powerful and useful, bug-free for everybody. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day. If there's any last minute questions, feel free to drop them in here. We can have a little bit more of a chat. I think there's a couple here. Andrew, for the media browser, can we choose where the assets download to? In other words, having all images, emojis that are downloaded to a specific subfolder instead of defaulting to download next to the project. Andrew, great question. That is not available right this second, but that totally makes sense. We'll include that before we actually make the release, so you can have a excuse me, a custom save folder for all of the assets that you download. I will say right now, it defaults to being next to your project file, but it also will create subfolders for the category that you're importing. So it'll have all the GIFs in a folder, all the emojis in a folder, all the videos in one folder. But yeah, that's a great feature request. Good call. Kyle, want to chat with you about working out something for Adobe Premiere Pro Editors Group, APPE. Yeah, Kyle, it's good to hear from you, man. I know that we chatted a little bit ago, but yeah, would love to reconnect. Hit me up, Danny at brevity.pro. We can go ahead and hopefully spin something up, get a little collaboration going, if you know what I mean. I feel like I didn't use Zoom that correctly here. We've got all these like unanswered open questions. We'll get better, guys. We'll get better. Where's chat? We got any chat here? Cool, awesome presentation. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining us today. You know where to find me. Hit us up. We'll have the Brevity Media Browser tool out next week. Full YouTube video coming out shortly. Tell your friends, get us some recommendations. Recommend us. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Happy Friday. I'll catch you all on the next one. We'll definitely do this again. Peace. Enjoy your free months, you winners. All right. You guys take care. Bye bye.